Okay, if you're watching this lesson, you should have just checked out a light kit like this. This one is Mariana, and I'm going to just give you a quick walkthrough of what you can do in Mariana. I'm going to set her down, and before you leave the classroom, you should inspect to make sure that all the pieces that you need are there. Right on the top, you should see one piece of black foil. You should see a pack of gels, and then there needs to be 3 of these power cables, 3 totem lights, 1 gel holder, and 3 reflectors. 3 of these umbrella reflectors. Finally, there should be 3 tripods. 1, 2, 3. Here in the classroom, give a quick check to make sure you've got all that stuff. One other thing that you might want to do in the classroom before you get out to the field location is go ahead and practice setting up this tripod. It's not hard, but it's something that you want to go through a couple of times before you get to your location, so you don't waste anyone's time at the location. You just lower that so you get your 3 legs, get them nice and wide and stable. Then you've got 3 of these things. So this part will telescope up as high as you need it to be. Each of these will go very, very high. And I'm going to grab one of these totem lights. There's a separate lesson on light safety. I don't know if you will have watched that already. Before you plug one of these things in, you will have watched that lesson. Very, very important. These totem lights are incredibly dangerous. Very, very dangerous lights. Make sure you've watched the safety lesson to get that. There's a little hole right here in the bottom. And Destin, would you mind coming a little bit closer to make sure you get this? That little hole is going to fit over that little knob. Now, it didn't quite seat on there, and that's because this screw was blocking it. So this is the screw that's going to tighten it. You're just going to want to drop that right on there, and then tighten the screw. I'm going to swing this around so you can see that. Tighten that screw, and that's going to hold it in place. And then you can raise or lower as necessary. If you want to adjust the light, use this black plastic knob. This won't heat up. The rest of the light, all this metal stuff, is going to heat up, so it's very, very dangerous, but this plastic knob you can twist once it's on. The power cable is going to plug in right there, but let's not do that until we're ready. Make sure this screen is in place, and there's one other thing I want to show you, and that's this little hole right here. 2 different things are going to fit into that hole. Number 1 is the reflector. This is what you're going to use most of the time. This reflector is the standard. This particular lamp is putting out 750 watts of power, of bright light. It's incredibly bright and incredibly harsh, and there's another tutorial on that. So you're going to want to use this reflector to soften this and spread it out. So you push this all the way out until it clicks, and then that little pole is going to fit into that hole. And you might need to loosen this screw to make it fit. So once again, this screw tightens, so we're going to make sure it's loose. We're going to put this right in there, and I'm going to swing to the side now so you can see it. And it should just come out the back. So this is going to slide just through like that, and it'll stop when it gets the little stopper deal. Then you can tighten it down that screw. And now remember, the light is going this direction, but it's going to bounce off the reflector and spread that direction. So now, if my subject is over here, my light is facing the subject like that. One other thing I'm going to show you really quick. So always have these reflectors on there. And we can fold that back up. Sometimes, and this is optional, sometimes you'll be using a gel instead of a reflector. And this is particularly true if you're using this as a backlight. If you want to create like a colored shadow on the background, or you're trying to create a particular mood by putting a gel, you open this thing up. I'm sure you saw me do that. Open that up, and it has a little metal stick, and it goes in the same spot that the reflector went in, which means you can't use a gel holder and reflector at the same time, but you can see there's a straight line. This is going to fit in just like that. Oops, my screw is too tight. Need to loosen that. Slides in, and it comes out the back a little bit, just like the reflector did. Then you can tighten that up, and these 4 clips will hold a gel. I'm not going to make you watch me put a gel in there, but you would just take the gel that you want out of here carefully. Don't tear up these gels, please. And you just clip it on all 4 corners in that little spot. That changes the color of the light as the light goes through the gel. Last thing I want to show you is this Cinna Foil, this black wrap. And we've got more of this at the school if you need some. This one I've got shredded into little lines, and the reason for that is for shadows. If you want custom shadows, you can use this light to do all kinds of fancy stuff. You can put your black wrap, and this is going to create bands of shadow, and that can create some texture, add some visual interest to your light if you don't just want one harsh light. And you can bend this or manipulate it or do anything you want to with it. Or I had a student who wanted one little pinpoint of light, and that's why he poked that hole right there. He wanted just a tiny little bit of light to be coming through to make one little spot on his subject's eye when the subject was crouched in a dark place, and he wanted just the eye to be visible. So he used that for that effect. So this Cinna Foil right here can produce all kinds of good effects. Take it easy on this stuff, it's expensive, so when you're done with it, don't wad it up and throw it in the trash. Lay it flat back out again, and put it back when you're done. And to take all this stuff apart, you just do the reverse. Like I said, you're going to want to practice this in the classroom. Don't just watch me do it. Instead, you want to be able to do this yourself so that when you're in the field with your actors, you're not wasting their time making you sit there and figure out how to set up a tripod. Make sure to watch the safety video, very important. And feel free to rewind this video and watch it again so that you can make sure you get this. Thanks. All right, you can stop.